Millie, Finesse, let's go. Finesse Leo, the one that comes from the trio. Best believe I'm all about my De Niro's. Everywhere I go, the people know my stilo. When you hear my rounds, you feel like you sent the kilo. The dopest boy in town, people gather around. Everything that I got it all for the ground. We always been kings, but never got our crowns. I refuse to live my life with a permanent frown.
Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome to Jewel Talk.
Jewel Talk.
Jewel Talk.
Jewel Talk.
Jewel Talk.
Jewel Talk.
Spin number Jewels, you heard? I'm your host, Finesse Leo.
I'm your host, Baby Juice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Yo, we back at it. We back at it with another episode, you know what I mean? This is episode 99. You feel me? We getting up there. That's a fact. Man, so I just want to talk about something. It's crazy. We're gonna get like really right into it. It's just funny because I got my Dominican son. He said, "I know black, I Dominican, papi. No. I want to talk about some black stuff today, man. I want to talk about some black stuff today.
Us Dominican, we gotta get right. Look, Dominicans are black, and they don't want to accept. They don't want to accept. They don't want to accept.
They don't want to accept that, man. My son Dima said, "Don't let that light skin fool you." I stand with my brothers. You know what I mean? Stand with my brothers. That's a fact, man. So I want to talk about the civil rights movement. So this is a clip that my bro Maceo sent me. Shout out to Mace, you know what I mean?
Civil rights.
Yo, Mate, again, yo.
We still on that?
Huh?
We still on that?
Civil rights?
Yeah. Nah.
Black people always gonna fight for the. You gotta remember, everybody. It seems like everybody else have more rights than black people and everything.
I'm just saying, it's 2026. I thought we was done with that civil rights shit.
Nah, we never, bro.
And I'm not saying
we
that
never
in no
done
racist
fighting
shit.
because not even on like I get what you're saying.
I'm not saying that in no racist stuff. I'm like, and then too much stuff had happened. Like we didn't went through COVID. We didn't went through everything.
Bro,
like,
you gotta remember.
We still on civil rights.
We still fighting for our rights. We still gonna forever fight for our rights and everything. But so I have this video clip right now talking about civil rights with black people and everything.
Okay.
And we're gonna get into it. And this is gonna describe it. So I'm
watch it.
Playing it right now.
We grew up in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We weren't looking for any social integration. You know why? Because we had our own businesses there. My family was part of one that had the only black bus line in the entire United States. We had over 500 buses.
Wow.
We had that from 1927 up to about 1967. When they killed our buses, social integration. When all of a sudden, you also are talking about Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King going down to Alabama, want to integrate the bus lines. Integrate whose bus lines? White bus lines. They didn't want to own and control and get the resource. They just want to sit on the front of it.
I feel like a complete asshole because I never thought about that. Like that whole time they did the boycott, they should have been trying to establish their own bus company as opposed to wanting to ride. I never thought about that. Y'all boycotted for a year just to want to ride on the front?
See, you're a smart man.
I never thought about that.
but you got it now, right?
Yeah.
We had two cab companies in Winston-Salem. Whites had the Bluebird and the Yellow Cab. We had the Harris and the Camel City cabs. When the integration movement started, you know what they wanted to do? Blacks didn't want to ride black cabs anymore. They wanted to ride in white cabs. We had our own movie theaters, the Lincoln and Lafayette. There was a Lincoln and Lafayette theater in every major city and every black community in America. Mm-hmm. And whites had the Farsight, the Carolina, and the State Theater. We didn't care. Blacks didn't want to go to the black theaters and want to go to the white theater.
Gotham Ghetto Gospel.
So shout out to Gotham City God, man. I got that clip from his Instagram. He posted that, you know what I mean? And it's basically, I forgot the gentleman's name. My apologies to you. I forgot the gentleman's name in that clip from that Breakfast Club interview. But he's talking about, from the caption, the civil rights movement taught black people to see white businesses as more superior than our own. And I feel so. Basically, he's saying that integration really kind of messed us up in a way. It really messed us up.
What is integration?
Integration, bring everything together. So you remember how before, back in the day, it was whites had they own everything. Blacks had to stay separate. We had our own businesses and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And we had to use our own services. Yeah. But because what he was saying that
he's like the whites played a chess move. They're like, oh no, wait, we fought
for all we fought to be equal and everything, and it messed us up because now we don't have our own.
No. I can see what he's trying to say.
We don't have our own, and we see that it told us that their services, their white businesses is better. That's what he's saying. So we had our own, like he said, we had our own taxi services, we had our own bus lines, everything that we just used. We had our own restaurants. We had our own, because we have to stay separated. You know what I mean? And it changed a lot, because now we was fighting just to sit with them sit with white people when they didn't want us to be with them. And we looked at it, oh, it's better because they was using it, it's better. They was there, it's better. And I can kind of agree with that. It kind of messed us up in a way. Integration definitely messed us up a little bit.
I could see what you're trying to say. Like, integration basically, they played a chess move. I feel like they was like, okay, we don't want to associate ourselves with the, like, for example, back in the day, how they would probably, they're probably their thought process. I could be wrong. They're like, okay, we're white, they're blacks. They have their own businesses, they have everything. But if this keeps going on in the future, the black people are going to be in control of restaurants, bus lines. So there as well will be
we keep the wealth for ourselves.
You know what I mean? We're keeping the wealth. So they thought, and they were like, you know what? Let's combine everything and let's just make the white people more privileged and just make them have the upper hand when it comes to business and stuff like that. So that's why I see what he means by integration.
Yeah.
That's how I took it.
No, that's how I feel that. I get what you're saying. I feel that.
Think about it. Imagine we would have taken it too,
because now you see we don't really own anything.
We don't own anything. And back in the day, we probably look having our bus lines. You know that industry of bus lines, like, you know, that's a multi-billion-dollar like industry.
Of course.
You know how much that makes a year? Like, you know how these buses, these trains, they're white owned. I don't think they're black. I mean, no disrespect. I don't think. You know what I mean? And no disrespect, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like, these are multi-billion-dollar companies that they looked and they were like, you know, they planned ahead and they said, listen, if we're gonna
in the long run,
if we need to make this image where, okay, I was some point we need to come together, because we can't just play this. You have this part, I have this part, because then we're just gonna go at war. At one point, they were just, you know what, let's bring everybody together and let's just do these things in a monopoly way. And they did it just like that.
Yo, because like he said, we fought to do these things like with Rosa Parks and everything.
I ain't gonna lie, on the Rosa Parks,
we had our own buses. We had to ride our own buses and everything.
On the Rosa Parks things, bro, I don't understand. Like, don't the bus have two doors? Like, why people fighting like that? Can't
nah, he said don't the buses have to. Yo, remember, this is not. Yo, back in the day, it was one bus, and you know, black people had to sit in the back and everything.
And you know what's funny nowadays?
We rolled certain lines.
Sitting in the back is the cool spot.
Yo, they used to say, yo, that always used to mess us up. Yo, back in the day, growing up, yo,
in the bus when you going to school, only the cool kids could be in the back.
All
of the
the
truck.
cool kids sit in the back. Yo, it's crazy. Everything became opposite. We fought so hard to sit in the front, but growing up in the back, like you said, in middle school, I remember, bro, everything used to happen in the back.
What?
Everything. It was late in the back.
The back was the lit part. That was the after party of school. Like,
it's the after. Yo,
you
bro,
had a quick little 10, 20, 15 minutes so you got to your
messing
crib.
with the shorties in the back.
You know what
everything.
I mean? Playing game, trying to see where you was going. But it'd be
crazy.
fun times, and I miss those times.
Yeah, man. But
continue with the.
That's a fact, man. But for real, I have to agree with what he was saying, because like I said, we had our own businesses. When we was segregation during the segregation times, it kept our money within our own people. It kept the money within our own people, and we used our own services. We ate our own restaurants. We used our own transportation services, and he named all those services that I didn't even know about those. I didn't even know about those taxi services and those bus lines. Yeah. So, and we fought so hard for that, it messed us up in the long run. It definitely messed us up in the long run. So I feel like, bro, we and like you said, we see the white businesses as superior, and it's like crazy, because it's definitely a fact. It's definitely a fact. Yeah. We definitely, the way people move, we want to be where the white people's at and everything. That's how it is. That's definitely how it is. But before, when we had our own stuff, we was thriving. We was thriving within our own community. We kept the economics. We had our own economy.
I wouldn't say we were probably thriving, but we had an idea, or we had a foundation.
Yeah, we was starving. We was helping ourselves starve.
We had a foundation.
Remember, you keep the money circling within your own community. You're gonna thrive. Yeah, because you're using your own dollars. You're using a black dollar. They say the black dollar, I think it don't stay within the community no less than a day. It don't stay within the black community and stuff. So I definitely have to agree with that. I definitely have to agree with what he was saying. And you know, they said back in the day, they said that Martin Luther King figured out, like, yo, it's funny. They was like, yo, Martin Luther King wanted this just because he wanted to fuck white women. He said, yo, he fought so hard because they said Martin Luther King loved white women, OD, but he loved white women. But he said on his death, you know, before he died, he said like, yo, I must have led my people into the hellfire. I heard this. I used to hear this coming up because before they was like, yo, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, they were supposed to click up. They was gonna click up and everything. They was talking because before, like, if you ever like seen certain speeches, they was like, they used to have their little tit for tat. Malcolm used to tit for tat with Martin because he didn't agree. He's like, yo, he said the same thing. Yo, we keep ourselves separated. We keep ourselves separated to keep our, like, have our own nation, have our own, like, you know, everything. And they were fighting for this just to like sit where they don't want us. They don't want us to be there. And we was keeping the wealth on ourselves. Now, like you said, it don't stay. The black dollar don't stay. Like I was saying before, the black dollar don't stay within no less, like, not even 24 hours. You know what I mean?
I didn't even know we had a black dollar.
No, I'm talking about the money. Yo, you're crazy, bro.
Nah.
Don't say no ignorant shit like that. But like, yo, the black dollar, you know what I mean, is the money we get as a people, as black people. We so quick to give it to everybody else. Every other, yo, we use it. Like I said, you know, you see in the black community that, like, all right, you see within the hood or everything, or even anywhere else where it's a large, like, you know, minorities.
Yeah.
You see, it goes to the Asians run the beauty supply stores, and you just have the Chinese restaurants and all that stuff. Where before, we had our own, like I said, we had our own restaurants, we had our own this and that, and we was like spending money within our own people. Now, when we get the dollar, we giving it to every other culture except keeping it within ourselves, and we don't even try to. Sometimes as black people, we don't even be trusting like our own businesses and stuff like that. We're like, nah, such other people's going to do it better than what we do it and stuff nowadays. Yeah. So I really see that. I really see that where we look at other like cultures and everything, like when they bring their businesses into our place, we look at it as more like better or more superior. I definitely do realize that. I definitely do. But
I feel like for that change, we got to start with our mentality, the way how we even look at things. But that's a whole topic in and of itself.
Yeah, we do have to change our mentality. Talk about it, brother. Talk about it.
No. I'm just saying, like, and not just like black. I feel like everybody, like,
like our people, like I said, if we unify, we realize, like, you know, the self-hate, because it messes up, and it definitely messes up.
You know what's funny? Before integration, we used to have this kind of thinking of, we're like, oh, white, we're superior, and then the black, you know what I mean? And then when we all kind of had this like unification and everything was integration, we then all started to realize that if you're white, it don't matter, you're still playing in this game.
You said they still own this, they still getting the bread.
Yeah, they play, you know what I mean? So like what I'm trying to say is, like, it don't matter. At the end of the day, I realize it don't matter the skin color. If you win the game, you win the game, and if you're not with them, then you in the game, and you see, and you suffering.
Yep. And you see what they did. You know, if you know about Tulsa, Oklahoma, like Black Wall Street and everything, where they burnt that down. They didn't want to see us.
You know how we have a Wall Street? I think we had a Black Wall Street. I heard about that.
Black Wall, yeah, that's Tulsa, Oklahoma. You feel me? Not the Wall Street you see out here in New York that we down the block from.
Yeah, because we outside though.
We outside. He said we outside. We outside.
We at Wall Street right now.
We at Wall Street right now. You feel me? We by Wall Street right now. So I really wish we could see, like, if we didn't, how we would as people of color, and as black people, where we would be if we didn't integrate, like how much we would flourish. You feel me? I really wish we could see that and stuff. And don't get me wrong, like, because we grew up in, like I said, we wasn't born in them times. That was like 40, 50 years before us. You feel me? They was going through that, and so we was born into it where everybody, like I said, integration was born automatically into integration. Everybody was we is a whole bunch of different cultures, but you see that, like, all right, like I said, the black dollar, it's like the people, us getting our own money, we give it to everybody else before we keep it with ourselves and our own people. So I really wish we could have seen, like, how much we would flourish if we didn't fight so hard for that. It, like, I could understand getting treated like shit. Like, we was fighting hard to get, like, you know what I mean? You just want to be treated as human beings. Yeah. Just want to be treated as human beings, being fair. But at the same time, like, we could still keep ourselves, like, maybe, like, if separation, like, was separation a bad thing? Was it really a bad thing in a way? I can understand the violence and us being treated like shit.
I don't think separation. I think separation people may look at it like, I know we probably looking at it like, oh, it's wrong because, you know, we lost.
Because we all human.
Integration was the best thing that ever happened because they unified us together. They realized that, you know, as we all here.
Because I love everybody. Like, yo, don't get it wrong. We all prejudiced. Everybody's all prejudiced. But at the same time, I can't say I don't love everybody because I'm a people's person. Like,
Yeah.
I love, like, we all, everybody's prejudiced in a way. We all stereotype each other in a way. But at the same time, I can't act like I don't, you know, like other races and stuff like that. I don't got love for other races. I can't sit here and act like that because we grew up. That's how we grew up. We grew up very diverse. We grew up in diversity and stuff.
I love all, and I feel like they probably thought that they was doing a chess move. Sometimes you think that you winning in the moment, but long term you killing yourself short.
Yep,
you know
that's what happened.
So
that's
they thinking that integration. They thinking that they was looking at a business move and they chess move. Okay, it played out exactly how they wanted it to play. With time, they realized, and we realized as the people, that this is all a facade.
Yeah.
This is all a game. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter about your race, your color. At the end of the day, we all pay taxes. We all, you know what I mean? We all play under the same rule. It don't, you know what I mean? And it's like I said, it's only a small percentage who's really in control. And if you're not with them, you're not them. And even if you're them, you're still not safe. So they try to play a chess move, I feel like down the line, and we're at those times where now it's going to reveal, it's going to backfire on them. Us, the people, we're going to realize, like, yo, you know what I mean? Like, this has all been, like, you know, us hating on each other, us doing all that. This is all part of the game. Like, they all wanted to play part of that movie. And it was this small percentage type of people.
Yup. Yeah, man. Like, oh.
You know what I mean?
I unplugged myself by accident. Yeah. No, I definitely feel what you're saying. I feel what you're saying, man. At the end of the day, like, I can't argue with the gentleman in the video. And forgive me, my black people for I forgot what the gentleman's name was in that interview, but he was saying real stuff. He was definitely saying real stuff.
That's why I also said in the beginning, I'm like, oh, we still fighting about civil rights? Because I just feel like that's a silly topic.
Nah, you gotta remember, bro. Like, we still get treated like shit. You know, black people still, like, they hate it, like, and it's not on no victim stuff because, yo, we also do things like we talked about the last episode. You remember the last episode? We also do things with ourselves, but it's also affects. Everything's a trickle down effect. You feel me? And it's not like I'm not trying to sound like the victim role, like play victimhood, but it comes from that. Everything factors into how we are as a people today. You know what I mean? And it's real.
Yeah, but I think it has to get to a time where we get over it and we realize.
We're gonna get over, but we gotta, like I said, we gotta work on ourselves as well too. We have to work on ourselves. I can't argue with that.
That's true.
So, yo, next topic, I want to talk about, yo, how New York City is making it impossible for the normal working class to afford rent. Bro. So I got a clip right here. You feel me? That kind of goes into that, yo. So I'm about to play this clip right now. Get into it.
Y'all want to know the real rent crises in New York and the problem? It's buildings like this going up. How the hell can a one bedroom in this building cost $3,350 in Flatbush, Brooklyn? Just think about it. How much money you have to make to afford a building like this in the hood? They say 30% of your monthly income should go to rent. So in order for me to afford a building like this, I gotta be making at least $11,100 a month. How many transit workers, teachers, police officers, firefighters, and other city workers can really afford that? None. How about this building right here on Linden Boulevard? If you want a 2-bedroom, you gotta be paying $4,000 a month. Who could really afford that as a city worker? None. I can guarantee you, no middle-class landlords own those buildings. Crazy thing about it is for that price, you getting an apartment the size of a closet. The middle class is not leaving New York to buy mansions. They're leaving New York because it's cheaper to rent a house outside of state than to rent an apartment in New York City. These politicians love talking about the poor, but they have officially abandoned the working and middle class in this city. This is not gentrification by accident. This is displacement by design. The other tricky part when it comes to affordable housing is either you make too much and you can't get the apartment, or you make too little and you can't get the apartment. There's a lot of city workers that fall into that gap right there. You cannot call it affordable housing if you need a 6-figure salary to qualify. When rent eats up 50, 60% of your paycheck, that's not housing. That's economic punishment. Transit workers, sanitation workers, nurses, we're not asking for luxury, we asking for stability. New York City don't have a people problem, it has a rent problem. Politicians who never work city jobs don't understand city wages. Let's be clear in New York City, the middle class isn't shrinking, we're being evicted. And when these buildings go up, guess who has final approval? The city council. So when people ask me what politicians do I trust? None.
Yeah, that's real.
Straight up.
That's real. Because, yo, I have to agree with him, because even though, you know what I mean, I live in New York, so I live in Queens and everything, and you know, even this goes anywhere, Queens, Long Island, like Brooklyn, like the whole New York, like the whole downstate. It's impossible for like the working class. There's no more working class. Like you said, there's no more working middle class, bro. It's being diminished now. You either rich or poor, and you know, to afford rent anywhere in New York it's ridiculous.
Middle class not even a class. Middle class is a class that I feel like was created as an image. People want to live up to that image, to that middle class image.
The middle class was supposed to be the regular people.
No, I know.
Regular working people with decent jobs, like
tell you,
they're trying to get
since
to
the
it.
beginning, they knew like this. I feel like the middle class never even existed. It was just an image that they brought up for people to think that, oh, I can't be rich. I'm not that poor. I'm in the middle. So it's like an image you got to keep up. It's like a certain type of standard you got to keep up. Yeah. But it's never been like that. It's always been rich and poor. I mean,
I get what you're saying.
Cause middle class, trust me, bro, you poor. Stop it.
You said you're right. Yeah, like nowadays you're like right there, bro. Cause bro, in New York City, bro, it's the rent, like you said, bro, a 3-bedroom is like you're paying the price of a mortgage for these apartments, bro. You're paying the price of a mortgage. How are you supposed to afford these? And people are moving out. You know, people are moving out day by day. And shout out to I got that clip on my phone. I forgot to shout out Progressive. That was Progressive Action on Instagram. Shout out to him. I got that clip from him. And yo, like he said, like, yo, you get these city jobs and stuff. Like, people are striving. We fighting for these city jobs. Like, I know I'm trying to get into these, like, I'm trying to get these good city jobs and stuff like that my damn self, like get into these unions or whatever. And it's like, bro, you could still get these things and still be struggling. Like, how they building all these new, like you said, that, yo, right there in Linden Boulevard in Brooklyn. I remember living in when I was living in Flatbush and stuff like that, bro. I remember that building he's talking about. And I remember there was this building on Martens right there. Like, there was this big building, and they're making these new buildings. And they're like, the rent is ridiculous, bro. Like, how you gonna afford this stuff? You're paying mortgage prices just to rent in New York City. It's ridiculous. Like, you can't be a regular person and live in New York City anymore. Everybody's dipping. Like, New York City's like a millionaire. It's just for, like, you gotta be a millionaire damn near to just be out here. You feel me? And it's crazy. It shouldn't even be like that. Like, bro, back in the day, it used to be, rent used to be cheaper and stuff like that. You can have a regular job and be good, be able to afford shelter, be able to afford to shelter yourself, pay your bills, and have money to save. But now it's like everything's going. Trust me, I go through that my damn self, bro. Like, I'm paying, there's people paying $1,000 for a room just to rent the room. That's how real it is. $1,000 just to rent a room, bro. Yo, remember before $1,000, like, you can get a whole apartment for $1,000 back in the day. Even that, like, now you're paying like $1,500, $1,800 for a 1-bedroom, $1,500 to $1,800 for a 1-bedroom, and that's if you're lucky. Sometimes it be even 2 bands. You feel me? 2 bands or more. Yeah. So it's like, how can you strive? How do you expect people to strive, man? And I have some little statistics right here. So they're saying New York is experiencing a significant population exodus with over 415,000 residents leaving the state in this is from 2024, largely driven by high living costs, taxes, and a desire for a more affordable housing. Over 545,000 residents left New York City in 2022, and 90% of the state's population's loss is driven by NYC. So 90% of New York State population loss is driven from downstate NYC and downstate, you feel me? Yeah. So they're making it impossible. Like, and they're saying the top destination that people are fleeing is for fleeing residents include Florida, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Texas. And even I heard Jersey's turning into like getting New York prices. It's getting crazy out there in Jersey itself because everybody's moving over there. They're trying to turn it to another extension of NYC, basically, damn near. So like I said, the outbound move volume, like I said, is 415,000 people left. Like, and then 285,304 moved in, continuing to turn a high cost driven migration.
Let me tell people, like, don't let rent be the reason why you leave New York. Leave New York now.
It is bro. It is a rent. Yo, everybody, regular people are struggling just to live out here, bro. You can't have a work. You gotta be busting your ass, be a slave to you know, working and everything just to get by, bro.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Like, how we supposed to live? Like, why can't it be regular where you're making like, bro, you can't be making like 50,000 or like be an average cost, the average wage. You can't be making the average wage and be living comfortable in New York. You can't. It's impossible. It's completely impossible, son. So, and they're saying you know, they're saying like the impact, while they're saying like income impact, while high income earners are often cited, data suggests that moderate income college degree holders in disproportionately moving out, often earning less than those who stay, indicating that the cost of living concerns are the primary driver. And rather than just taxes, it's the cost of living. Everything is too high, bro. They make everything. The rent is high. You see food is high. Everything is high, bro. It's ridiculous. The economy in New York is ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous.
Yes.
So it's forcing people up. Like, if you're like getting by, you're forced to leave. You're like he said, it's displacing people. It's displacing people wholeheartedly.
Yeah, no, I agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah, man. Like, it sucks. It sucks OD. And you know, I know we're because I want to stay in New York, man. I love New York, but yo, I like damn near I'll be like, yo, bro, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I be thinking to myself, yo, I gotta get the fuck out of here just to look for somewhere where my money is gonna like still try to find a way to make, I guess, New York money, but out of state. You feel me? Go out of state, go to a different state, go down south. Because I remember before I used to peep that shit when I was younger. Everybody used to move down south when we was younger. I used to hear mad people moving down south. And I never understood until I got older. I'm like, damn, it's more affordable. But even I'm hearing even down south, it's just America period, bro. America period is just up. It's like, yo, inflation is crazy. Cause my man's I was in Florida, even though that's still decent. He was like, yo, bro, he's for a 1 bedroom is like $1,300. That's crazy. And he's in Georgia. He's in Georgia. And he's telling me, yo, that's how much is this for one. I'm like, damn, bro.
Even Texas, people think that Texas
is getting expensive too.
Texas is getting expensive too.
Yeah, bro, Texas is getting expensive.
Little by little, getting expensive.
I'm hearing that. Yo, they said Houston is crazy. Houston is becoming like too crazy with it. It's wild, bro. Like, they gotta, and it's like, it sucks, like, bro, because people have to have shelter, bro. It's like that's why we constantly having a homeless problem, all that. Like, what? Like, we paying all this money for what? All this money for, and they building these new buildings just to like displace people, push out the people that been there, and just bring in these more high income earners and stuff like that. But it's like, what about the people what about the average regular day average Joes? What about the average Joes? They not thinking about that. And like he said, the people that own those buildings, they ain't regular folks. They're not regular folks that own those buildings. These are like rich, wealthy ass motherfuckers that is just doing that, and they gonna raise these prices because they can. There's charges because of the location. You know, everybody want to be in New York City, so it's ridiculous.
Nah, for a fact. And like I said, man. Oh, another thing I want to say though, if you couldn't survive though, like, you know how it seemed crazy to us, but we living through it, so it's not like really crazy. Like, our mind is like at a mentality where we know we gotta survive and we gotta do a lot. So for us, it's like cool, but for somebody coming out from, like, let's say London or somewhere else, like, for example, these third world countries, you know how you have family in third world country? I got family in Dominican Republic. Yeah. They be thinking like, yo, you in United States, oh, yo, you live in the dream. You know what I mean?
Hell no, like, yo, America is ghetto. America is ghetto.
Send me money, all that. Little do they know, nigga, we struggling.
We struggling, bro. Trust me. I feel you, like, because if I would go to over there, they think just because I'm from America, oh, Yankee boy, yo, he got it. He got it. I'm like, bro, out here, I'm a regular dude.
Bro, you live way better in a third world country than living here right now.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it be like
that.
Bro,
in DR, bro, like, over here, if you got no money,
if you got some bread, a little bit of bread.
Over here, let's say you don't got no money, you're not eating. And we live in a world where it's like so robotic. Like, people here are to themselves. You know what I mean? If you have a problem, I'm not really gonna be there to help you. Like, I mean, that's how we live in, at least in New York, where I grew up from. You know what I mean? In a third world country, You could be down low, but everybody's a community. Feel me? You don't got food. Oh, I got food. You know, there will always be a place somewhere. Over here in New York is more greedy. It's more
it's doggy dog out here.
And I could just be talking about New York, but I feel like that's how United States is overall.
That's how the United States is, period,
overall,
bro.
Yeah. If you're not getting it, no, don't expect nobody to be helping you. You know what I mean?
No, not really, bro. That's a fact. That's a fact.
And that's just how it is. So, like, what I say to say,
everything is for self nowadays. Yo, nowadays in this world, everything is for self, bro.
So, you know what I mean? For those out there thinking that, oh, U.S., ooh, if you're not coming over here with a game plan.
He said the American dream is dead, bro.
Yeah, there's no American dream. There's American test. You know what I mean? If you're not coming over here and you're not ready for this test, then you're going to fail it, and then you're just going to have to keep taking it until you know what I mean? And passing it don't mean you pass it. It just means you self-acknowledged it and you accept that this is a game. You feel me?
Yeah, he says definitely is a game out here, man. But and like I said, I'm trying to play the game the best I can, but it's like, bro, because I don't want to leave. It's like, yo, and especially like when you retire, bro, you know, when you retire, everybody like dipping, like, you know, most people they dip, especially if you come, if you immigrant, right? If you immigrant, once you make your money out here, you go dip and you go back to where you from because your money spread longer out there. You feel me? So America is wild right now. It's just really wild. America is definitely America is becoming ghetto as a whole. My other coworker used to say that shit all the time. He's like, yo, America is ghetto. Yo, people don't realize that shit. They come over here, they get money grow on trees. Hell no, bro. You could struggle just out here like you was struggling back in your country, bro. That's real shit. So yo, I want to get into talking about money and everything. So I want to get into so you seen with GloRilla's sister, they call her BroRilla. That shit. And her name, I was like, her motto, how she be go by Scarface. I was like, yo, so that shit is funny as hell to me. But I want to talk about certain clips. I want to show a certain clip with her. She's calling her the sister because she feels obligated to her bread. Bro, for me, she feels obligated to her bread. So there's like two clips I want to show y'all real quick.
Some people's like that. They feel entitled. But then, you know, I don't know. It's weird. We live in a weird world, bro, where people think because you winning and because they know you, they entitled off everything that you doing.
OD, bro.
And people don't want to, they don't want to get up off themselves and do what they gotta
talk about y'all favorite. Paul, let me play this clip real quick.
Say it again. This is BroRilla?
Yes, sir. BroRilla.
This is Gorilla Glue?
Gorilla Glue. Gorilla Glue.
Y'all man, I'm talking about y'all favorite rapper. Y'all favorite rapper ain't shit, and I'm getting tired of it. Y'all mad. Fuck. Y'all talking about some she ain't obligated. How the fuck she ain't obligated when she want to sit here and have them interviews and talk about the struggles we been through and then reach back and help none of us out. We got her friends riding the shit. And my mama still working at FedEx. Y'all better get the fuck out of my face.
Wait, so listen to what she said. She said she's in interviews talking about her struggles and the struggles that her and her family went through. Mm-hmm. So just because she talked about other people's struggles, now she has to pay for other people's struggles. Yo, I ain't gonna lie.
What was you, and I want to play this clip. I want to play this clip because if you saw the skin bone one, let me play this clip.
She got endorsement with Sheen, all types of
Sheen?
Hell yeah, she got endorsement with Sheen. I'm Googling her network every day and getting mad at her.
That's lying, though. Let me Google her network.
She do got endorsement with Sheen.
Let me Google her network. Hold on. GloRilla Network 2026. Ain't nothing pop up. 23 mil? 2 to 3 million? That ain't shit.
That's why I just want 2,500.
He said that ain't shit. She ain't really popping.
You gotta think about it. 3 million.
Yo,
that really ain't shit though.
I mean, it's not a lot, but she's getting to it.
But you do know that. You do know she got money.
That's just net worth.
I promise you, GloRilla and the whole career that she's been in here, she's made more than 3 million.
Nah, definitely wholeheartedly. You know but
that's just what like, they put according to her network.
If you saw the skin bone interview she did, bro, he was asking the right questions. He was like, bro, what were you doing? How do you feel entitled to her money just because your family and friends, whatever? But like, how do you feel entitled? What was you doing to help her get to the way she's at? Was you taking her to studio sessions? Was you paying for studio sessions? Were you like help funding her? What was you doing? If you wasn't doing none of that,
what did she say?
What was she doing? She was like, nah, like she just feels obligated just because they're family and stuff like that, just because they came up together. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, yo, you shouldn't help your family. If you come up and everything, you shouldn't help your family, but they're not entitled to everything you got.
Hell no.
They're not entitled to everything you got, bro. That's ridiculous. And that's OD pocket watching crazy, because it's like, yo, you talk about you Google it, her network, like that's some real pocket watching shit crazy. You can't be doing that, bro. If you didn't participate and like push forward, help them push forward by helping funding them, or like you taking them to studio sessions, like you putting money up to help them better themselves and everything, how can you feel obligated to their riches? You know what I mean? They're not obligated to do anything. That's their money. Like that's their money. You should be you should like be motivated to get yourself out. If she can do it, you can do it too. You feel me? Use that as motivation and stuff like that. But that's just like a lot of mentality that like, yo, friends and family be having that shit. Family be having that shit. Friends having that shit.
Weird, man.
It is definitely is weird because, like, yo, bro, if I like we know damn well we can go through we can go through that. Like, all right, if we made bread, yo, people gonna come out the woods like, yo, this and that, cuz, this and that, like, yo, let me get something, have something, but they wasn't what you shooting in the gym. They wasn't what you shooting in the gym, bro.
They wasn't shooting in the gym. Or I have a line that says, well, you know what I mean? It says, I was helping them eat, but they didn't care if I was eating.
I was helping them what?
I was helping them eat, but they didn't care if I was eating.
That's a fact. I mean, if you helping them.
No, I'm saying, like, sometimes you could be helping people and they're not even helping you back. And then
fact. They just taking, they're draining your energy.
Or because you on the right path and you doing what you got to do and you still trying to help people, and then, you feel me, you make it and they still feel like you got to.
Yo, people want you to take care of them. People want you to take care of them. They ain't trying to work hard for anything. And, like.
For any mommy out there, Dominican mommy, take care of me.
Nah. Yo, and even Chris, and like going to this, like, yo, Chris Tucker, my brother was bringing this to my attention. Chris Tucker was going through that too. He talks about this too. He was like,
my family tripped out when they found out how much money I was making. All of them just quit their job. They just quit. I said, what the fuck y'all doing? Running around saying, we rich. We ain't gotta do shit. I said, y'all ain't rich, I'm rich. Everybody wanted something, man. My brother was reminding me of stuff he did for me when I was 5 years old. Bitch, you wouldn't even be alive now, man. Loan me the money for the house, man. So I don't remember. I'm too young. I was too young. My family tripped out.
Yo, man,
but I did see Chris Tucker pop up on them Epstein pictures with Matt.
Oh no, that's he said that.
Yeah, we not just going. You know what I mean? We not past.
Bro, you gotta remember he was saying that, bro. You gotta remember there was a lot of celebrities, bro. They was just there, like, they try to say that about Michael too. They try to say that about Michael Jackson. We ain't putting no dirt on my son
Michael Jackson did not pop up on none of the Michael.
No, he has photos with Epstein. They're like, oh, Michael was there on the island. But you gotta remember, certain celebrities was there, but they wasn't. That don't mean that they was involved in the bullshit and doing all the foul shit, bro. They was just there. You gotta remember, it's rich people hang out with other rich people. Like, I forgot who said that, but you gotta remember, rich people hang out with other rich people. So I'm not saying that. Oh, everybody's innocent, but like a lot of celebrities they're innocent, bro. Just because they was there, they're just in those rich parties, affluent parties.
You know when you go,
they not participating.
You know when you go to a club,
like with Michael, like my fault because I brought up Michael and stuff like
Michael Jackson did not pop up. He didn't pop up on none of the Epstein.
He didn't because he didn't do nothing, but they also gonna always bring up like what he did beforehand. They're like all that stuff with he settled in court. He should have never settled in court. He should have continued fighting and stuff because you know they're always gonna hold that against him. They're gonna hold that shit against him. But yeah, man, like, but for real. But like Chris Tucker said, like, yo, they be like, yo, as soon as you make it, they're like, yo, we rich. Like, nah, bro, I did this myself.
Yeah.
I did this myself. I got myself to where I need to be. I was putting in that work.
Yeah, Tucker. Yeah, it was just Chris Tucker taking them bill. You know what I mean? Man.
Chill out, yo. He was Chris Tucker. I saw Chris Tucker innocent, man. Just because he was there, they got pictures of him with Epstein stuff. Like, yo, he was just probably doing his job. He was just in those affluent parties.
He was in a private jet with Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton was doing foul shit. Now that he was doing,
Chris Tucker.
But you gotta remember, you're around the rich people. Hang out with rich people.
Chris Tucker, a comedian, was around Bill Clinton, a president.
Yes. You gotta remember, he was that dude at the time. You gotta remember, Chris Tucker was that guy at the moment, bro. He's that guy back in the day, OD, bro. And there's another one I want to talk about real quick.
Don't have your family working for you.
Okay.
In the comedy club. Because my family worked for me in my comedy club, and I went there. The club wasn't making no money, but everybody had new cars. My brother was drinking up all the inventory. So I gotta try this stuff, man. Make sure they strong.
How long did it last?
About a year. That was it.
Who made the call to shut it down?
I did. I said, this is over. I'm not making no money. This will mess up my movie money.
Were they upset with you?
My dad was upset with me because he was the cook. He said, what am I gonna do now? I said, be my daddy.
He said, be my daddy. Nah, facts, bro. Yo, sometimes it's hard to do stuff with your family because then they take advantage, bro. You see, he said,
I don't mix business with family.
Yo.
You don't ever do that.
And sometimes, it most of the time just go wrong, but I try to...
I got that off the 10 Crack Commandments from Biggie Smalls. You know when he made that song? That was a good song, by the way.
Yeah.
I got off that. You don't mix business with family.
Yeah.
You stay away from that.
Yup. He said, number 3, never trust nobody. He said, yo, your mama will have that ass hemmed up. Hoodie and masked up. You know what I mean? But nah, man, it's sad to say, is like sometimes you can't do that. But I always felt like, with black people, we gotta try to like build our own self with our family instead of build our own wealth, because the white people do that shit. But I feel you, bro. Most of the time, family have that entitlement issue where they feel like they don't gotta do nothing. Once you make it and you get the riches, you don't gotta do nothing. You don't gotta work hard for anything else. Like, I could just use you. And it backfired him because he said in the clip, he opened up a comedy club. He had his family run it, and they tore it down to shit. They brought it to shit. You feel me? So it's wickedness. Like, you gotta really we gotta really stop this shit where unless you you're with them, you're putting in the pain, you're putting in that work with them.
Yeah.
You can't feel all entitled to their money.
No. And even then, when you still, let's say you with them. My fault, I was about to cough. Let's say you with them, and even then, you still can't feel entitled.
Not at all. You good?
Even then, even if you with them and stuff like that, like, you should never think like that. You should never think that, you're going to devote your time and your lifespan. Yeah, you can be part of somebody else's movie, somebody else's life, and part of their vision. But even though you're part of their vision, still have your vision intact. You feel me?
Yo, you gotta work hard.
And try to build your vision. It may not correlate with his, but he's building his and you building yours.
You use it as motivation to make something for yourself as well.
Don't always think that because you around somebody else's vision and you there since the beginning that you entitled to that vision, because you not.
Yeah, bro, because you remember that's that person's vision. That's that person's vision. And if if they giving you a position to work, work. Don't just sit there be waiting for shit to happen to you. You gotta put in the work too. So you're you're putting in your contribution to where you're gonna be compensated for what you're doing, bro. That's real shit. Cause Skinbone was hitting her with the with the good questions and shit like that.
I'm glad he was.
He was what was you doing to put her into position?
I'm not gonna lie, the way how she's living her life and the way how she's doing things and coming out about things and on social media, it's not looking good for her.
Bro. Now she got what she want. Now she got noticed. She's famous now. You know what I mean? She's famous, but it's you kind of famous for kind of trying to shit on your sister and everything. But now you kind of got. She gonna get her own back. Yeah, for begging. OD, bro. But she's getting her little money. She's trying to get her little money for the interviews and everything like that. But when you try to do stuff off of that kind of negativity in a way, it don't last too long.
It don't last too long, and it only tends to hit you harder in the end.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, next topic. You feel me? I want to move on to. We're gonna talk about. What we talking again? We're gonna talk about Tory Lanez. Free Tory.
Free Tory Lanez.
Free Tory, man. And I saw that clip. I forgot whose lawyer it was, but it was his lawyer that was saying that Tory, they said finally is coming out Tory did not shoot Megan.
Yeah.
Tory did not shoot Megan. He had nothing to do with the shooting.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I have I can't really just speak because I'm not really there. I'm not in tune with all the facts. Of course. But I do want to say though, we live in a very fishy world, and I ain't gonna lie. For some reason, my instance or my intuition is telling me Tory is innocent.
Tory's definitely innocent,
For some reason, it's telling me that, and I feel like.
For the one, he should have just took the stand. He should have took the stand, and him taking the stand would have been way better. But we get caught up in the like I guess didn't want to be looked at as a snitch or whatever like that.
And then that caused
bro, of course it's like, yo, you got stabbed up, like man, and free Tory, man. I didn't want that to happen to him or none of that. But I was like, bro, you could have avoided all this drama if you would have took the stand and like spoke your truth and everything and like said what
happened.
Yeah, said what happened, bro. But so go into it. There's some breaking news that just came out. So with Vlad TV, we're talking about with Vlad TV. So Vlad TV was saying some shit about Rock Nation.
I don't know. Vlad TV woke up on the wrong side of the bed today.
Nah, he woke up on the right side. He's like, yo, I gotta get this off. You know what I mean? I got this free Tory. Free Tory.
Free Tory.
So Vlad said on Twitter, or X, now known as X. So he was like, I have a confession. Rock Nation has been paying me to support Megan. They also paid off all the jury members to convict Tory. And they bribed the judge too. Jay-Z did a verse for his grandson's new album. They paid off, did a verse for the judge's grandson's new album. This is crazy. Wow, this is wild. They paid off Megan's doctor to lie about the bullet fragments. She was never shot. Cause bro, how was you
shot and then like a week later you was already dancing and doing shows? You know what I mean? We already went through all that.
Exactly.
Let your eyes see, real eyes see. Real eyes see.
Exactly. The LA police are all on Jay's payroll. And it doesn't stop with LA, but you're not ready to hear that part. The Mexican guy who stabbed Tory, who do you think paid him to do that? Oh my God. It was a hit.
Yeah.
It was a paid hit. I could believe that, yo, because I'm like, yo, that shit is vicious, bro. It was a paid hit. That's crazy. You already know the answer to that. The 3 Supreme Court judges who denied Tory's appeal all paid off by the Rock Mafia. Jay also paid Trump not to pardon Tory. Even though it's a state case, Trump can only pardon federal cases. But knowing Trump likes to bend the rules, Jay wasn't taking any chances. I can't keep these lies secrets anymore. If this is my last tweet, you know who silenced me. This is yesterday. This is on Valentine's Day yesterday, bro.
Imagine. So what do you think, bro?
So,
and you know what's funny?
Yeah.
Is like I always keep saying, like from last episode, we at the end times. We are at the times where the people who you thought were the right people are come out to be the most worst and evil people you had ever even thought about. You know what I mean? So
that's crazy, man. That breaks my heart, Jay. Say this, Jay.
I mean, you know
the
what
money, because you know Jay, and it just be proving like, damn, man, Jay just sold out to the billionaires, and I fucking love Jay. I fucking love Jay, bro. What a pack, just being a New York dude, bro. Like Jay holds a special place in my heart, but he's just so. It's just the money. The money got to him, and now he's like, yo, I gotta protect my. He don't care anything else but his business.
Sometimes it's not even the money. Sometimes it's just you can't get to a certain level if you're not rocking with them. If you're not rocking with them, they're not rocking with you.
Yeah, bro. And that's you gotta sell out. You said you gotta sell out to get to that bet.
You gotta sell out.
So Vlad also said, I'm seeing news reports that Kelsey's bodyguard came forward and said that Kelsey shot Megan. Yep. Not Tory Lanez. The only problem is that Kelsey's bodyguard wasn't actually bodyguarding her the night of the shooting.
And what I feel like when she said shot at was she shot the gun. Doesn't mean she shot at and actually shot her.
They were saying like, yo, the gun fell on the floor.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
They was fighting over the gun and the shots went off. So he was like, his testimony is based on a conversation he claimed he heard. 98% of the appeals fall through. This isn't going to overturn Tory's conviction. If this was actually true, Tory should have taken the stand and said it. Yup, he should have taken. That's a fact. He should have taken the stand. Also, the story doesn't match up. The story doesn't match up with the jail call of Tory apologizing to Kelsey. You're an idiot if you think that someone is sitting in jail and is going to apologize to the person who put them there. And why would the shooter even do a jail call with the person who's being charged with their crime? So he's like, I guess all 12 jurors who found him guilty were obtuse too. And you know what I mean? He's continued going, he's saying, and then he changed his answer and said that she was shot, but Kelsey had the gun. And after knocking it out of her hand, the gun hit the floor and fired twice. I have yet to see a gun fall and fire twice. It was probably a Rock Nation self-firing gun that they planted in the car. Yo, so yeah, man, he's going through all these Twitter stuff, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. So yeah, that I feel that, man, and he's saying that they was paying him, like, bro.
This is crazy, but I'm not gonna lie, bro.
But
like,
he feel like this is wrong as hell.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jay-Z is into some shady stuff, and I do really
wholeheartedly, bro.
For some reason, I do believe him and Beyonce are in some crazy shady stuff.
So you believe with
they even saying he's like the
he was in the Epstein files with him and Pusha and everything.
No. What I'm saying is he hold weight. Like Epstein is like, how do I say it? He's like the he's like the head honcho. Like they look at him at the honcho. But
Epstein?
No, I'm not looking at. I'm talking Jay-Z. My fault.
Yeah, Jay-Z is that, bro.
Jay-Z is like, I feel like he is.
Yeah, bro. He's
definitely a gatekeeper.
OD. He is a gatekeeper now. He got to that level.
Yeah, he got to that level.
From them folks, like we said, from them folks, he did them deals with them folks. Like I said, he sold out, and that's what they always say. That's what Dame angry about. Dame always angry, like, yo, he sold out, like, the whole rock to get to that high level. Yeah. Shit, like, besides, we already know how Dame's attitude was, but besides all that, like, yo, I be feeling.
What happened with Dame though? Like,
because he was like, bro, he did, Jay like dismantled the rock so he can like get to the positions where he is now. Because he's like, yo, I'm gonna do these deals. He dismantled rocks and then have to own Rock Nation. To do these deals, like he see these deals in the future, like, bro, he can make these power moves and stuff and do it with the elites. So, and because Dame Dash's whole thing was like, yo, he was fighting to keep everything for themselves, like keep everything within, like, this is we made this ourselves, how they started. Facts.
Damn. So Jay-Z basically he backstabbed him.
That's how he always feels. Man. And it's like,
I do feel like
the more the more we hear this stuff, Jay-Z's for the bread, bro. He's just strictly for the bread.
Not for
That's
the bread.
What he cares about. And it's like, yo, if this is all true, this is fucked up, bro. Because, yo, it's fucked up. Yeah,
that's what they say. Don't
put it against him, but like I said, Tory also should have took the stand. He definitely should have took the stand.
Yeah,
should have took the stand and told his truth. Like,
but I do feel like, for some reason, I don't know why, but I do feel like Tory Lanez will be freed one day.
Nah, he's gonna get out. And yo, bro, by the grace of God, he didn't die. He didn't get killed. And it's just, damn. And the fact that Vlad is saying like, yo, that was a paid hit on him.
You know why Vlad? You know why I feel like Vlad came out? Because Vlad's like, damn, if he dies, that's gonna be on my conscience. Like, I know everything that's going on. I know the fake of reality.
Guess he got a conscience. Like, I guess he's putting it out now. He's feeling guilty of some type of. He's saying like, yo, they've been paying me. He's like, they're paying me to
to basically be on Megan's side.
Yeah, to be on Megan, to support Megan and stuff. And I'm like, wow, that's whack as hell. When they know the truth is, like, Tory didn't do that shit, man. An innocent man got put in jail. Free Tory.
How we live, the world we live in.
Free Tory. It's an evil world we live in.
Evil world.
Yeah, man. So, bro, you see the money, yo. Like I said, money is a motherfucker. Money is a motherfucker.
Money is the root of all evil, but that's why I say, like, whenever people look at rich, they tend to confuse rich with having money. Money is just a tool. Money is just an asset. Like, money is just so you can buy.
Money just can cause people to do evil things, bro. Money can cause people to do evil.
Money is just a way of just saying I can use a human being's lifespan for my cause.
You look at everything as a pawn. Everybody as a pawn.
But what I'm saying, money is a tool to be able to have access or just be able to get things. What truly is rich is your mindset, your heart, and your morals.
Bro, word. Like I said, bro, you gotta stay, like we talked about in the next episode, bro, you gotta keep God within your heart. You gotta move righteous. You can sleep better than that. Yo, I don't know how some people sleep at night knowing that they do wicked things and stuff like that. And they always say, like, yo, being a billionaire, bro. I remember Charleston White was saying this before, man. Yeah, and I know he going through some crazy shit right now, but he was saying some real facts when he first came out. Yo, being a billionaire, bro, you got to do wicked things just to get to that level.
No, being a billionaire, you can become a billionaire, but to stay a billionaire and be
you got to do wicked things.
You got to be part of them.
Yeah, you got to be part of them. Yo, people got to die. It's blood in your hands to get to that bread, bro. Whether you directly involved in it or not, it could be tied to you just so you can get to that level. Like, you ain't got to personally do it, but what you doing, like, causes these things. You feel me?
Yep, exactly.
That's real shit. That's real shit, bro. But, yo, free Tory.
Free Tory Lanez, man.
Free Tory Lanez.
Free Tory Lanez, and I feel like, God don't let his warriors, God don't let his warriors alone, and I feel like everybody goes through a certain thing for a reason, and you could be used as a vessel, you know what I mean? So what they do in the Tory is just a whole plan of what God has planned to be able to, what Tory is going through, sometimes that's just God doing that in a way of a bigger picture to form. Maybe if that never happened to Tory Lanez, maybe we would have never gotten, and you know what I mean, to Jay-Z. Maybe we never.
He said these things would have not gotten exposed.
No, I mean, and I just like I said, we at like think about it, bro. We're at times where everything is starting to like billionaires who Microsoft, other billionaires are just getting correlated with these Epstein things and stuff like that. Like big people, big names are starting to look like.
And they say
So-
now it's like
it's happening
being a
now-
conspiracy theory. They was calling all this conspiracy theories crazy, like Alex Jones and all that stuff. And they wanted to be. They was like
Bro,
Kanye, Alex Jones. All that
it's
was
funny,
right. They was
it's
saying
funny,
right.
you know
they
what I
was
mean?
right. They was right in the beginning.
And I remember we used to talk about
They was
Kanye,
right in
and
the
you used to
beginning.
tell me Kanye's crazy, but look, is
Nah.
he really crazy?
I never
No. I
Kanye,
remember having this conversation.
He was saying real shit, like, bro, he was coming out and talking about all these places with Adidas and everything like that.
And nobody wanted to hear him.
Nobody wanted, but he was saying facts, bro. He was saying facts, but it's like I said, the people that's in power, they're gonna silence him. They're gonna try and silence him.
But you know what's funny? Not even about
it's just that he's
silencing.
be going through so much other shit.
They're gonna ruin his image.
Yeah, they're
That
gonna ruin his
even had-
image.
And
Yeah.
at one point, you thought like, yo, Kanye's just crazy. Like he's crazy. Like. Cause I ain't gonna lie, I remember
He be going through shit.
I remember
though.
how
He be going through
we had
shit.
this conversation.
He definitely has a little
and-
mental, but he be
and-
saying some real shit at times.
And you told me, you was like, yo, listen, I ain't gonna lie, Kanye's
And
crazy,
that money
but-
when you get to a certain level, it's going bless you. When you get to that money, sometimes, bro, you get to that money, bro, that shit puts you in hectic situations, bro. It puts you in very hectic situations.
Yes, correct.
bro.
I agree.
Super.
I agree.
That's a fact.
I agree.
That is a fact. Word, man, But we about to end out this episode here, yo. Any final thoughts you want to give?
Any
Baby
final
Juice?
thoughts, man? Listen, this whole Tory Lanez thing, like, bro, this has been happening since back in the day, man. Where they would come, the first thing they would do is, they would like I said, if you're not part of their team and you're not with them,
They
just
gonna
know
roll over your ass.
They gonna roll over your ass, and this is things that happen. They will lie on your name. They will create fake cases. They will lie on your image. And they will try to drag you down the dirt. You feel me? And that's what they would do. And the funny thing is that they have the public so in a fishbowl where like anything they put out in the internet, for some reason, bro, we going through so much as the people that we just believe anything that just gets put out. Like for some reason and think about it. You see how he said, Jay-Z paid for the LA. Jay-Z paid Vlad. Bro, a person just had to pay for people to just talk about this narrative, and everybody started believing it. People didn't even take the time out to really, you know what I mean, try to like.
When you
They
got
just believe
money,
in people.
you could cover up and bury certain shit, bro.
And this is
And
what I'm
it's
saying.
fucked
Like,
up.
don't be surprised, man. Like,
But now, like I said, we in this era. I guess, we in the truth. We
in the truth.
era.
Cat Williams said it.
Yeah, Cat Williams. I was
and
just
it's
about to say
funny.
that shit.
Cat Williams said it.
You read my mind.
Cat Williams said it.
Cat Williams that said that shit.
Cat Williams
He's
said
like,
it.
we're coming into the truth era.
No, we're in
bro.
the truth area. We're
The truth era.
look,
Everything's coming out.
The
Everything's
truth
just
era.
pouring out.
Then is the destruction area. Then is the real. Then is the back. Like
Rebuild.
rebuild.
It's gonna destroy
New-
itself. Yeah, everything's gonna explode and come out, and then we gotta.
You could think about that
gotta
as
build back up
war.
again.
You could think of that as World War III. But we're gonna go through a very mass
Same, we're gonna
destruction
go about that shit. That's
to be
scary.
able to rebuild the new way.
It's
But
scary,
it's gonna
man.
be
It's
scary.
gonna-
But first, we gotta go through the truth. A lot of people have to get exposed. A lot of people have to pay. You know what I mean? Same way as elites. Same way as even regular people. You know what I mean? I feel like in the next 5 years, if you as a person, if your soul is here doing negative things, God's gonna look at you and even if you're around people, even if you're not doing bad things, but you're just around people that's doing bad things, God don't care. God gonna take you with him. He's putting out. We doing a lot. I call this a natural cleansing. God is
purge. We purge.
God is coming. He's taking everybody that's on the negative side. He's taking them away, and he's doing it slowly, but he's doing it strategically.
Gotta keep the positive, but it's just hard because if it ain't a balance, like it's always gonna be. I always be thinking to myself like, will we ever get rid of like crime and negativity and stuff like that? But it's like, it pays too much. The world is yin and yang. Is really
I was about to say, it's not even about the money. It's just about the yin and yang.
The yin and yang, bro. Because at the same time, if everything was straight positive, we wouldn't have like I said, judges wouldn't be around. If it wasn't crime and all these bad shit was happening, all this stuff. But I want the world. I want, like you said, bro. I want everything to get exposed so the truth is out.
And it's gonna.
And people don't be sheep. Like the regular people don't continue to be sheeps. And we know what's going on. Everybody's hip and like these elitists and everything. They got to be put to shame. And they got to be taken out of power, bro. Like we gotta really dismantle that for real.
Yep.
You got to, man.
Exactly how you're saying.
So man, Yo, again, yo, thank you, my brother, for coming through.
No, I appreciate you for having me.
I appreciate you, my boy, my guy. I see, my brother. I said my brother and my guy, my brother. You know what I mean? I appreciate you. Thank you for coming through with me. So I wasn't on the dolly ski. You feel me? I wasn't on the dolly today. No problem, my guy. Yo, so let the people know where they can find you at.
Hey man, y'all can find me at Instagram, Baby Juice, 2 Y's _ 2 E's, Baby Juice. And just find me on Instagram, you know what I mean? That's
Hell yeah, man. That's a fact. I got you. Yo, make sure y'all follow him. And make sure y'all follow us at Jewel Talk, at JWL Talk on Instagram, at JWL Talk on TikTok. Follow, subscribe to the YouTube. Click that notification button, everything, man. At Jewel Talk Media Group on YouTube. You know what I mean? Follow me at Finesse _ Leo. You know what I mean? Follow me. Follow my brother at Mace on the dot Mike. You know what I mean? Follow him. And yo, man, again, this has been a good episode, man.
Been a great one.
Yo, I'm your host, Finesse Leo.
I'm your host, Baby Juice.
This has been Jewel Talk.
Jewel Talk.
Jewel Talk.
Jewel Talk.
Jewel Talk.
Jewel Talk.
Spin number Jews, you heard? We out of here.
We out of here.
Peace.
Millie, Finesse, let's go. Finesse Leo, the one that comes from the trio. Best believe I'm all about my De Niro's. Everywhere I go, the people know my stilo. When you hear my rhymes, you feel like you sent the kilo.